Right, so this was probably one of my most intense races, and this is the most mental dive bomb I've done in a while. 2 overtakes into 1 corner from all the way back. That's some good stuff. Right, so on Monday I did the daily races video, and to be fair, daily race was such a great race, I had to literally visit it again. And it was pretty good actually. I had 3 races, all of them I won, obviously I'm just that good. And you're getting to witness 2 of these races, which are both pretty good and just amazing overall. So as the clock starts ticking, it's lights out and away we go. Starting in P1, obviously my lap time is much better than the other drivers. You got, the Belgian and the South African right behind me, and they're not gonna be too eager to sit behind and just watch me. And as you can see, the Belgian driver attempting an overtake as I do a bit of a slip, and I managed to keep myself composed and stay in P1. So my race could have ended very early, but I managed to recover what happened. And again, the Ferrari drivers, again, very, very eager to overtake me, and I'm gonna have to put up with all those pressures. And I'm on hard tires, and they are all on medium, so I have to basically slow them all up, bunch them up where they have to fight with each other, and that gives me the opportunity to just piss off at the sunset. But again, it's easier said than done, because as I get into better and better lobbies, drivers they tend to get smarter. They're not dumb like before, so it's gonna be a challenge to fool them into fighting with each other, and they are all cooperative. So again, it's just that much more difficult to get them to fight each other and allow me to build the gap. So now it's pretty much me and P2, I mean the Ferrari, and the other 2 drivers are quite back behind, but they are working together, they're not fighting it too much, at least not as much as me and the Ferrari driver. You can see the Ferrari sending it quite deep, allowing me to just, expand that gap that bit more, making him completely disappear off my radar. So that just gives me a bit more of a cushion zone, and just takes a bit of pressure off my mind, allows me to sleep better at night. But this is still racing, and that gap can be easily made up, especially since he's on the medium tires, and again, I'm still on the hard, so I'm gonna have to be very smart with the way I manage my race, as the gap basically decreased to 0 as soon as I hit turn 1. And you can see they are very eager to overtake, especially that I'm pretty much the slower driver here. So everything I have to do is just defend like my life depends on it. So as we go through this nice sector and transition into the uphill, now into the downhill, there's a lot of elevation change here, and it's just really fun to play with the car. But this is less fun than it looks like, because again, Ferrari is right on my tail and is very eager for my slightest mistake. He's playing the mental game, trying to put some pressure on me, and you can see in the radar now there's 2 of them, and again, they are not eager to fight each other. They're more interested in working together for the bigger prize, which is P1. Then after they overtake, they're obviously gonna fight each other, but it's too early to get desperate, and that's why they're all calm and composed, and that's the general rule of racing. So I go heavy to defend the inside, and you can see the Ferrari driver just on the outside attempted a move, but it didn't really work out, and then he attempted the switcheroo, but as you saw, the tail spin, or like the tail rotation he had, just did not allow him to put down the power, which led me to going back into P1, nearly lost the position there. And in reality, that just gives him a golden opportunity into turn 1, so I'm gonna have to be very smart with the way I defend it. So as you can see, he's just on my tail, and now he's just on my right side, and I'm just trying to keep him there, hold him there. And the Porsche driver just takes the opportunity and says thank you very much, makes 2 overtakes in 1 corner. But at least the Ferrari driver is still behind me, and now I'm on the back foot of the Porsche, and now I'm looking to overtake him instead of defending him. But again, he's on the medium tires, so that makes it just that little bit more difficult. But I'm a driver with a lot of experience, and I know how to manage my way around an idiot. Speaking of idiots, he managed to hit me, and now I'm in the barrier. Lost 2 positions there. Very nice, very good, but it's still very early into the race to make any rage quits. I'm just gonna sit back and basically lock the fuck in. It's still not that big of a gap to P1. It's, again, all of us are within 3 seconds of each other, which is not much at all. So as we go onto the straight, the pack is kind of naturally compressed purely because of the draft, but just outside of the slipstream range, so it's gonna be very unfortunate for me because I just don't have the slipstream and I'm just watching them go away. So all I have to do is lock in and make 0 mistakes, because yeah, they will have, you know, a bit of moments. Maybe somebody's gonna try to pick a position here, pick a position there, and that's just gonna make them lose that bit of time, which will allow me to catch up. So again, I'm just very locked in and very focused on my own race, purely because different strategies. I'm pulling a strategic mastermind here, because in the end, If I stay close to them and the gap is under 5 seconds, I'm winning the race when the tires switch, because then I'll have the medium, they'll have the hards. But I didn't have to make the gap 5 seconds. As you can see, I'm still very fast, and I got literally still on their tails. I don't know why, but these drivers are just not as fast as me. I'm quite reasonably faster than them by like 0.4 of a second a lap, 0.5. The qualifying was, if I'm correct, was 0.6 difference between me and the closest driver behind. So with hard tires, you can see I have very similar, if not just a little bit faster pace to the drivers here, and I'm pretty much on the South African tail right now, looking for an overtake, but I'm just gonna make it wait for the nice long straight. As you can see, we're all nice and compressed here into a nice pack, nearly spinning out, hitting the wall, but again, I just keep it nice and composed, lock back and stick in the slipstream of the South African, and now that's just gonna make me build the speed more and more and more as we head into the final corner, that nice hairpin. And you can see from all the way back, I managed to somehow land on the brakes perfectly and make 2 positions into that hairpin, which is a very tight hairpin, basically giving a dive bombing masterclass. And that's the thing, you gotta be patient with these races. Now I'm back into P2 looking to overtake the Belgian up ahead, but I think it's about that time of the race where the tire degradation will be biting him a little bit, because the hards obviously degrade slower than the mediums, and in terms of pace, we should be pretty much equal by now. This is just before the pit window. For me, I'm going to pit on lap 6. I don't know for the other drivers what their mind is, but again, for me, my strategy is do 6 laps on the hards and then the rest on the mediums. That's the best strategy. And by going with the hard first strategy, it just allows me to have that 1 extra lap on the mediums, so overall just a faster driver. Literal strategic mastermind. Red Bull should hire me, but unfortunately one could dream. Anyways, the Ferrari driver did manage to build somewhat of a small gap, but again, it's nothing major, and I'll pretty much be able to catch it back all the way in the straight line speed, or this big straight. The Supra does have the straight line speed over the Ferrari, but you can see the driver did show he's not keen on being slow. He's actually quite a fast driver, and that's when I decided to pull my strategic mastermind, pull into the pits, switch it to the mediums. You know, the pit stop boys will go, I'll grab it from here. As I pull into the pits, you know, hard tires out, mediums in. Nothing they can really do at this point. The goal is to come out in front or just behind the Belgian driver with the Ferrari, so I come out right now on my out lap for this undercut strategy, and with the new medium tires it should be very easy to warm them up. Nearly getting overtaken here by the Spanish driver, but I keep it nice and chill, and now I have the German up in front, which is, he's not close enough to make it an issue, so catching up to him by the end of the lap will be an easy task, and should also allow me to overtake him on the straight instead of during the corner, so I won't be losing much time. So going into this right-hander, you can see he's just very slow through there. He made a slight mistake where it made him, you know, just lose about 1.5 tenths, and going through this left-hander he loses another, you know, half 1 tenth, and I'm basically on his tail. So literally perfectly aligned with the straight line speed here, so I'm gonna be building the speed in his slipstream, and the fact that my car just has a better engine and is a rocket ship down the straight, I'm going to be overtaking him very soon. As you can see, I'm already faster, and I'm getting closer and closer, getting out of the slipstream, just overpowering him with my top speed into this corner. You know, just a little bit of a fight, but I still have the inside, so nothing too major. I make the corner and I do the nice overtake. Now, if you look here, you can see the Belgian driver and the German driver, they're both in the pits, and if you have a good eagle eye, you will realize that the Belgian driver made a nice mistake. Tell me in the comments what you think it is, but you will see it by the end of this video. Now, basically what happened, doesn't matter where the Belgian ends up. If he ends up in front of me, I still won the race. And I know some of you are probably very confused, but it will clear up all very soon, as the German driver nearly sends an overtake down me, or nearly sends me flying actually. He did give me just a tiny peck on the rear bumper, and now I'm chasing the Belgian driver. And now, since I'm on a fresh set of mediums, I'm going to be looking to build up the intensity and just race better overall. So now I'm in his draft, so it becomes even harder for him to build the gap, because no matter what he does, if I stay close to him on the corners, on the slipstream, I will catch him. Doesn't matter, purely because better top speed and the slipstream. So now going onto the straight, I have no idea what it's called because this is not a real track. Anyway, I get a bad exit, not the best exit, but I still have the top line speed, and again, still in the slipstream, just about. As there is 2 drivers up in front who are still yet to serve their pit stop, so I'm not particularly worried about them because what they have is only provisional. As I look to make an overtake, I did cook the brakes slightly, and you can see me flying down the inside past the apex, and again, no real position was made. I'm still overly reliant on the Supra straight line speed. Despite the Ferrari having slightly better cornering ability, the straight line speed of the Supra makes it the go-to car in my opinion, because it has probably the best mix of cornering ability and top line speed. Now, speak of the devil, the top line speed is here, and I'm pretty much on his bumper, nearly overtaking him before the corner even happened. So now at the braking zone, I just made the overtake simple, easy, just simply lovely. He nearly, crashes into me from behind, but it all clears up. He lifts a little bit, so it doesn't cause too much of an issue. He's quite a good driver, very clean, and he's very respectful of my identity on track. He's not attempting to shamelessly ram me like last video. So as we finish the uphill section and head into the downhill section, you can see he's just, I don't know, he's just a little bit slower than he was before, but he's still mounting the pressure on me because he has the cornering ability with that Ferrari. But again, he's just not as fast as he used to be. So going into this crucial corner, I made the perfect line, taking it nicely, and the Ferrari driver is just behind, didn't do it as good as me, so you can see him just backing out or just not having the speed to keep up with me right now. But the slipstream should allow him to, at least keep an equal level of speed, just not as fast as me, purely because, again, I have the top line speed advantage with that Supra. Now into this braking zone, you can see him just getting that bit closer. I sort of cook the corner, but I still do it nicely. But again, you can see the Ferrari driver just backing out completely after I clear that corner. And now heading towards the start-finish line, I'm going to skip to the final lap where you can see the driver is right behind me and going for a photo finish. He's gonna slip behind on the slipstream and gonna attempt the overtake, but he's not close enough. And that didn't matter regardless because he has a 2-minute penalty. By now that penalty should be obvious why it's there, but I'm gonna let you have the crime scene investigation. Anyway, into the second race. Again, I'm still starting in P1, same race, same everything, but different drivers. And as the clock starts ticking, lights go out and I start rolling with the car. Now, the scenario is still very similar, but if you look at the British driver, Lewis Hamilton has joined the mix. Is that really Lewis though? No idea, but it could be. As the Croatian driver makes the move down my inside, it's kind of my fault. I left it completely open with no plans of defending it, purely because I didn't expect him to be there. And once again, I'm starting on the hards, everybody else is on the medium right now, so I'm going for the less optimal strategy for now, but that's overall part of my strategic mastermind. We're in different races, that's the thing you have to calculate here. And now if you look at the radar, you can see Lewis Hamilton is very, very close and he's gonna look for an overtake, but again, Lewis Hamilton being Lewis Hamilton, he's a strategic mastermind as well. He does not like to go for very ridiculous moves. He likes to wait and take the opportunity when it presents itself. As you can see with a tiny tap on the bumper here, he's clearly eager and he is a little faster than me at the moment. Now from the driving start, it is very Lewis Hamilton-like. So could it actually be Lewis Hamilton or is he just a really good imposter? No idea, but one thing I know is that Lewis Hamilton is actually an active player of this game, so who knows? Anyway, into the hairpin, he is very close to me, but not close enough to make a move, so I'm gonna be more focused on the Ferrari up in front, which he made a slight mistake there. I'm not sure if that earns him a penalty or not, but he was very close to the edge, and yes, it does earn him a penalty. Now, if Sir Lewis Hamilton does not plan to make any overtakes on me, that will allow me to catch up and overtake the car in front, but if he goes for a move or an overtake attempt into turn 1, that will just slow us both down and will let the driver up ahead get further. So if you keep an eye on the radar, Hamilton goes for a move and through goes Hamilton. I attempt for the switcheroo and it does work out nicely in my favor. Hamilton is back on my bumper again. So now the plan is to keep him behind because again, I'm still very eager to overtake the car in front. I don't really want to fight it too much, so I hope he plans to cooperate with me, but I don't think that's very possible purely because of how he's been driving. He's very aggressive with it and does want to finish the overtake with me as soon as possible, but you know, I'm a fighter. I don't like to give up very easily. So as we transition into the downhill sector, you can see he is getting very impatient and just building up that pressure, staying closer and closer to me. As we go into the corner just before the straight line, you can see he goes for the overtake and I did not bother with it at all because I know Being behind here is actually more beneficial. I have a nice long straight where I can just slipstream and overtake him down into the next corner. And again, if I don't overtake him there, I still have another nice, very long straight where I can make the overtake. So I just give him the bump draft, you know, tell him I'm there, and just gives him a bit more speed, and that's just a factor that allows him to make a mistake, and it is a bit of psychological warfare. And you can see he braked a bit too early for that corner purely because he thought he has too much speed from that bump draft. And that's all it took for me to make that overtake into this corner. See, I'm a strategic mastermind. A lot of these Gran Turismo races are actual psychological warfare between other drivers, so you can very clearly tell the stupid ones from the smart ones. Again, the stupid ones all make mistakes and go all the way in the back, but the smart drivers, they stay ahead, and that's for obvious reasons. They know how to manage the race. As Lewis Hamilton goes for a move again, you can see me straight on his bumper, not giving him an inch of extra space. And that bit of aggression from my side did kind of bite Lewis Hamilton, because I gave him that slight bump which did lead him to go off the track. Well, I wouldn't say that alone was enough, but he was carrying a bit more speed there than he should. So I wouldn't completely blame it on that slight bump I had here. But again, it's not too much of a major crash. He's still very much behind me, just with a bit of damage that will take about 30 seconds to repair. So now it's my happy days. I'm back in P2 I mean. So the plan is to catch up to the Croatian driver up in front. So it's easier said than done, purely because he is on the medium tires again, so probably gonna have to wait for the pit stop round, as Lewis Hamilton does have a penalty to serve. I'm pretty sure that we're going off the track somewhere. Anyway, if you keep an eye on the radar, you can see Lewis Hamilton just disappearing completely from the the radar view, and that just allows me to that allows me to have a bit more confidence into this corner and overall in the race, because it's just not closer, and it's just that cushion gap that allows me to rest my mind. Anyway, it's time for the pit stop. So lap 6, I'm on hard tires. Obviously, that's the time where I switch for mediums, where I activate my, strategy. 6 on the hards, 8 on the mediums. What other drivers do is 7-7, which is not the optimal strategy in my mind, purely because the mediums are faster all the way through, maybe until lap. The medium's totally great enough for it to be an issue at all. It's actually faster all the way through. As Mr. Lewis Hamilton makes the overtake down on my inside and going into the pits, I'm going to be I'm not even gonna push that hard against him, purely because he's still yet to serve his pit stop. And if you're questioning what happened to Lewis Hamilton, after serving the penalty, he actually made a crash, and I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but it is there. So going into this uphill, getting ready for the downhill transition, I'm just, getting more confident on my medium tires, just building the temperature, and now looking to attack Lewis Hamilton. But I'll be fair with you, I don't have to attack him for longer, because purely he's gonna pit and off lap unless he manages to go for a very unexpected strategy, but I don't think he's going to risk it, because there is no benefit going past lap 7 on the hard tires. Anyway, you can see me just outside of the slipstream range, but I did get a slightly better exit, so I'm going to just inch closer and closer and then into the slipstream, and that will allow me to decrease the gap on him. Again, not by much, because again, I'm just purely on the outskirts of the slipstream, but it's still significant where it allows me to pull a move all the way from back here. Again, just going down the inside, no issues at all, easy out, powered, short shift all the way through, nothing he could do, purely because of the hards. Now, if you look in front, you can see the Croatian driver is pulling into the pits, and he made the same mistake as last driver. So, pretty much, doesn't matter where he ends, I pretty much won the race, because there is the German driver up ahead and the French driver who are still, again, yet to pit. They're going for an alternate strategy where they would pit on lap 8. But in my opinion, for the mediums, that is around where they start losing their speed compared to the hards. So now I'm pretty much locking my eyes on the Croatian driver up in front, and once again, it doesn't matter where he ends up, I'm still winning the race. He's gonna get the same 2-minute penalty, purely because he did not change the tire compound. Now before it was 1 minute, now they made it more harsh, as if 1 minute wasn't enough. So it's 2 minutes. Good luck trying to cheat a race. So again, instead of him going from the mediums to the hards or hards to the mediums, he did not make the required compound change. He changed from mediums to mediums, and that's against the regulations for the race. They have a sheet that you read in the beginning of every race, and that tells you the required compound, and the required compound stays all the way until the start of the race. So it's purely his fault for not realizing it. And that's why he gets a 2-minute penalty for not using one of the required compounds. So that just leaves me very, very happy to win the race pretty much halfway through. But, the race is still not over. For you to win the race, first you have to finish. And to be fair, speaking from an egotistical side, it does feel better if you overtake the driver, regardless of where, if you're gonna win or not. If you just overtake him, it just feels better, it feels more fair. He cannot come to you and moan, if you didn't get the penalty, I would have won. So that pretty much is a shut the fuck up card if I overtake him on track and not with the penalty. So that's my goal for now. Again, it's purely egotistical, no benefit to that. It's actually more beneficial if I not take any risks, but again, it's the egotistical side here that I'm attempting to achieve. And to be fair, I am faster than the driver, so why not go for the overtake if the opportunity presents itself? So I'm gonna be pushing very, very hard. I've been trying to get the, there's 3 stars, which is basically the same as the F4 Grand Slams. All I have to do is start on pole, have the fastest lap, and have a clean race. Of course, the victory has to be there too. So in this race, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be getting the clean race bonus, but for sure I'm gonna get the pole position and fastest lap bonus as of now, because I do hold the fastest lap. So just on the edge of the slipstream of the driver up ahead. The straight line speed might help me get closer to the slipstream, or further get myself into that slipstream where I can build even more additional speed. But I'm slower than my previous lap by not by much, and I'm gonna focus on purely driving the car nicely and overtaking the driver up ahead. So I'm gonna lock in and be very, very smart with my moves, not make anything unnecessary, and just attempt to further put my foot down in his draft or slipstream. So now it's just difficult for me to get closer to him. Purely because he's supposed to be on hard, but he's not, he's on medium, so me and him are basically on the same compound. But as I get myself into that slipstream, I mark myself another fastest lap, and now I'm pretty much in his draft. No matter what he does, he cannot shake me out of this, because I'm fully locked in. I have my eyes on overtaking him. So now my goal is to make him put on him a lot of mental pressure where it causes him to crash, and already he made a small mistake here, nothing major though, nothing that would make me overtake him because of his mistake. But again, the mental psychology games are still on. The mental warfare is still here. I'm trying to put a lot of mental pressure on him that will make him or force him to crack under pressure. But going through the sector, the Ferrari driver is faster, but everywhere else I'm pretty much faster. So as we head onto this nice and long straight, I focus purely on my exit, and I get a nice and amazing exit, and that's just gonna push me back into a slipstream and gonna give me a nice overtaking opportunity into either the hairpin or turn 1. So again, very locked in, very focused. I'm going to injury move down into that hairpin. As I get closer and closer, I brake just perfectly enough to get the overtake nicely done down his inside, and now all I have to do is exit without any trouble. But he gives me a nice little tap and another tap, which was all that's needed to make me spin. And this incident alone is what took away my clean race bonus. So now I'm very pissed, but again, I'm still going to win purely because of his mistake. So as the French driver overtakes me, he's somehow still yet to serve his pit stop. I have no idea what kind of strategy he went for. But as we finish the race, you can see the driver up ahead is already finished. I'm getting closer and closer and closer to the line. I cross the line, and he has the nice big red 2-minute penalty right here.